So this is the beginning of project remodel garage, and as you can see, it's a freaking nightmare mess. I cannot do projects, I can't do anything in here. I've got all the bikes in here, I've got stuff everywhere. It's so unorganized, it's driving me crazy. Plus this big black refrigerator I've got to contend with. Well, I did order the stuff. I've got Gladiator gear coming. I've got the 66-inch cabinet that's going to replace that cabinet. It's on wheels. I've got a 6-foot workbench, wall shelves, and the wall unit to do the stuff. Now, first thing I did was put in, I went with a cheap method of putting in fluorescent lights. So instead of doing a bunch of wiring and all that stuff, I wanted to be expeditionary pretty much. Everything that's going to go in here is going to be removable. So what I did was I went with sort of a light bulb solution, if you can kind of see that. I was able to get some fluorescent lights that hang from the ceiling, and I just simply plugged them into the light socket above. And as you can tell, this is what it wasn't like in here before the fluorescent lights. Okay, so now I'll turn on the fluorescent lights, and you can see the difference in the brightness in here. Much better. Alright, so there are a few shadows in the corner. I may put an alternate fluorescent light above there in the same fashion, but ultimately it achieves the objective. It's not as pretty as wiring it all in and stuff, but I have control over everything. I can turn those on and off if I want to, and really add some light to the situation. So next thing is going to be to clear this whole wall on this particular side. I'm going to take all this shelving down. I'm going to strip it down bare. I'm going to move everything to probably one side of the garage, and then this side is going to be painted, and then I'll do the Gladiator slates that go across the wall to start storing the stuff. Now that's a pretty nice kit. It comes with a bunch of slates, and it comes with a lot of hooks and stuff like that, so you can get the stuff off the ground. It also comes with one small cabinet, so that'll be on there as well. And then part 2 will be to move all of this stuff to the other side and paint, and then install the shelves that are going to go on there, and the workbench is going to go across there, and finally get the stuff all organized. So there you go. That's the beginning of the project, and we'll keep you up to date. Again, easy, cheap way to install fluorescent lights. No problem. So the purpose of this video is to create a follow-on for the video I created before the project. The project was to remodel the garage, get rid of all the shelving, the chaos and disorganization that existed in the garage before. We started off by putting up the fluorescent lights with the light bulb solution, and we got the Gladiator slates in the containers that came. The slates go across the wall over there, and as you can see, I've got tools and stuff like that. I've got the 60-pound shelf that go up there with the Gladiator cabinets, and then the Gladiator cabinet at the end with wheels, air compressor with the compressor coil, the wind-up hose and stuff. But here is really cool because this wall has the Gladiator slates on it, and of course I painted the whole thing, top to bottom, ceiling, everything. The entire thing was painted, to include where the AC and the heating unit is, where I was able to fit some shelves back there after I straightened all this stuff out to put some more stuff that I don't really use that often, like paint and stuff like that. But here I was able to get all the tools off the deck, get the ramps for the motorcycles to put them up in the truck, get some other Gladiator sort of shelves and stuff like that. I'm not a salesman for a Gladiator, but I'll tell you what, this has worked out really well. Even had room to put the big black refrigerator and both of my bikes. Now my bike doesn't have to ride around the back of my truck all the time. But there's the small Gladiator cabinet with a couple of slates I was able to put over there. But it turned out really well. I was able to repurpose shelves that I had up along the walls before. I cut all of those to the same length and then hung the pipes above and into the ceiling. I was able to create some overhead storage for some other stuff, stuff to get out of the way. I don't really, use particularly that often, like coolers and things like that. So that worked out real well. Painted the pipes, painted everything real well. So you can see the theme, on the lights and stuff like that, and a little attention to detail. So I was able to keep sort of the Gladiator theme with that ruggedized metal. But the important thing is, I've got room now, like a serious bike shop, a mechanic shop, and also to be able to work on my stuff in the house and work on just about whatever I need out here. With all the tools and stuff organized, I can find everything and get in and out as I need to. So it's worked out really well. And her motorcycle, which is a big old VTX 1800, still fits in here. I haven't brought my BMW in here as well, but that could easily fit along the wall between the bike. Getting rid of the lawnmower, put that in storage pretty soon, and I can bring the bike in and kind of slide it back there. So that's pretty much how this all turned out. It turned out really well. I was really surprised as I worked my way through this and kind of scratched my head, and I was like, wow, this is a lot of stuff that's in here. There's probably more stuff in here than there isn't any room in the entire house. But it worked out real well. I've been able to work on my bikes and work on several projects during this sequestration period. So it's worked out really well, and thank you very much for tuning in, and hope you like what you see.